Hello, and welcome everybody. This is OM Talks, and I am Richard. This is the second episode. Let me introduce everybody in the team today. So we have Iron Man Luke. Hello, Iron Man Luke. How are we? We'll get to right ways, Iron Man, later. How are you, Luke? You okay?
I'm very well, mate. It's great to see you. Yeah, super well. Good. Excited to do the second episode. So yeah, very good.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a long time, right? It feels like it's been a long time since the first episode, but yeah, it's
exciting. It feels like a long time, like you say, but we've kind of gone away. We've done a little bit of like pulling it apart, working out what worked, what didn't work, and then it's exciting to come back and be like, yes, let's go.
Yeah, it is. So, well, hopefully we've got a better show lined up. And the reason we've got a better show is because we have the lovely Courtney with us today.
Hello.
And you've been on your adventures, haven't you?
I really have. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's ended. So.
Oh, you'd rather still be there, I see.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Well, we're obviously not needed, Luke, so we'll just leave it to it.
I think next episode needs to be a live stream from an exotic destination somewhere, and then we will just go host it from somewhere. Yeah, I saw someone in the comments is from Florida, so I think next time we need to go and do some of there.
I think if there's an invite from John, then I think we should be saying hello. Yeah, so let's say hello to all the other people joining us. John Watson from Florida. Hello. I'm not sure if it's morning over there. I'm guessing so. It might even be afternoon now. Let us know. But hello. Maryland as well. Here we go. Even New Zealand. The New Zealand people have come over to say hello as well. So, there's a lot of people on the chat. So that's a really good start. So, what we've got going on today then. So we have an exclusive interview with Courtney about her New Zealand trip. I'm sure we'll get into that in a minute. Me and Luke will kind of tell you about what's been going on through May for OM. We've got a bit of a camera debate today. So Courtney is an OM1 user. Luke has been using OM3. I use both. So we're going to have a little bit of a debate in terms of why we think each camera is good at what. So that should be really, really interesting. We've got the OM Talks challenge to talk about. We've got the events happening in June and July to talk about. We've got another great debate topic as well. So what makes a great image? And I think all three of us have very different thoughts on this. So it's going to be a very interesting debate. But
I think just between the three of our opinions, it's going to be quite an interesting debate. But for me, it's like handing it over to the people in the comments and just seeing like what their thought perception is on what is an interesting photo, because it's so subjective, isn't it? So, people will go down more of a technical route, people go down more of a passionate route. So I think, like later on, I'm really looking forward to opening up that conversation and just seeing what people believe is a good photo. And then I guess taking that away and seeing if you can apply that to your own work.
Well, yes. Yeah, that's it. So I think, for everyone who's got questions for Courtney, please get them in kind of early because that's going to come up in a second. But anyone who wants to somewhat join our debates lightly, I will add, then please get involved as well. We'd like to see what your thoughts are. So shall we crack on? Luke? Shall we tell them what's been all happening in May and everything else?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's get into it.
All right. So me, I've been super busy. I don't know about you, but I had a holiday in Dorset. That was lovely. I stayed in a World War II bunker that was converted. That was quite special and unique. But what it did mean, it took like 10,000 shots though. So there's a lot of stuff to edit. So
I think you need another holiday to be able to do like the post-production from your holiday. That's
Yeah. And what is the reason why we're calling you Iron Man Luke today, Luke?
I did a half Ironman. Yeah, I attempted a half Ironman in May, which was an experience. I did it in tidal water. Would never do that again. So yeah, hence now you've given me the nickname of Iron Man Luke, which makes you feel very uncomfortable, but it's appreciated.
more uncomfortable the better for this show, I'm sure. So in terms of work-related stuff, I suppose. So I did a Clifton.Cameras macro day that went incredibly well with us and Clifton with Craig. That was brilliant. That the amount of people that turned up to that was really, really cool. That was a really interesting experience for the whole entire team that came. We spoke to Wayne Robertson in the big walkthrough. That was really informative. So that was a really passionate talk about kind of the Scottish landscape and how you can capture that. If you haven't gone to see that video, that is really, really worthwhile going to do.
The thing I like about Wayne is, from speaking to him personally, he's so good at appreciating the environments he takes photos in. So, it's a bit like the whole kind of blue belt philosophy, like go there, take photos and sort of don't take anything away or don't leave any trace. And he's so pure with that. It's really interesting to hear how he approaches it and his appreciation for not just taking photos of nature, but appreciating nature and leaving it be and not interacting with it too much. I think it's really beautiful. So yeah, if you've missed that episode, definitely watch it, because Wayne's his approach is really powerful.
Yeah, and he's here with us.
Oh, there he is. Hey.
So we weren't expecting that, Wayne, I'll be honest. So I've also been doing a bit of a macro roadshow around the country with Wexes and LCEs. That's been really, really fun, really, really engaged. People getting on board with our kit in the 90mm, to the point where today I thought I'd do a bit of a special. Normally I do the big white lens in the background. I thought I'd go full-on macro setup, so OM1 Mark II with a 90mm flash diffuser. Thought I'd get all set up ready for our bug macro day, which is on the 30th of June, which it's basically almost sold out. I think there's still one ticket left, but really, really stoked for that. So you never know, we might even be able to get Courtney on it if we ask really nicely.
Oh yeah,
she can actually show us what we're doing when it comes to taking macro photography.
Yeah, that's a good start.
Not sure about the insects though. Just dipping my toes into that. That's a hard way. That's a hard process. That is.
That's what it's all about. You need to learn. So
absolutely.
And you're getting the kit for it from our personal conversation a minute ago. So I think it's a good learning time to get involved. So
absolutely, I just ordered my flash for my OM1 Mark II, ready to dive back into it. So
love that.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll throw you the date, Courtney, and we'll see how we go. So you'll see it in a bit. So we've also Craig went down to Castle Cameras and did their show. That was really, really good. They actually had live animals there ready to play with as well. So everyone's getting involved with animals at the moment. It's great.
Yeah, when you say live animals, like what animals were involved?
I think it was more. I'm not quite sure, but I think it was insects. I'm not sure if he's actually watching, but he'll be able to tell us. I think it was more insects.
Okay.
He mentioned a snake to me, so I'm guessing, snakes and other bits. So, and you actually brought on Pandora, didn't you? Luke, with
no, I didn't bring on Pandora. So Claire kind of headed up that. So I'm aware of Pandora, kind of seen her work, incredible. But no, that was all Claire's doing. So Claire done all the hard work there, which is amazing. But we're super appreciative of having Pandora on board. Fantastic, creative, and another talent to sort of join the roster of OM representatives. Cool,
brilliant, awesome. So we've told what we've been talking about, right, and what we've been doing. Though I don't think our adventures really outweigh what we're about to talk about. So Courtney, what have you been up to in May?
Oh, nothing too special, really. I just went across the world to New Zealand for a little bit, just as you do,
and that's a long way.
It is a long way. I tell you what, it's a long way for someone who doesn't fly very well. Okay. Yeah, stick me on an airplane and I'm not okay. So it was a tough journey, but it was well worth it, to be fair. So.
And if you don't mind me asking, before you went to New Zealand, where the furthest you travelled? Like what was the furthest distance you travelled?
Oh, this is gonna sound really bad the way I'm going to say this, but I've been to Antarctica. So.
No one likes to show off.
Okay.
Not to
Is
show
there a
off,
country you haven't been to? Is there a country you haven't been to?
Oh, there are plenty of places I haven't been to. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's the furthest I have been before. So, which wasn't too dissimilar in terms of hours to get there. But yeah.
Well, I think that cues us up nicely for another episode in the future, because we're going to do New Zealand on this one, but we need to hear about Antarctica another time. So let's let's get that in the works at a later date.
That was a few years ago, so you might have to send me back just for a refresh.
Maybe just OM Talks will just be Courtney episodes of where she's been and how she's done it. Oh wait, she already has a YouTube channel for that.
There we
go. So tell us about the trip. Why New Zealand? Why did you go?
New Zealand it's always been the very top of my bucket list of places to go to. It literally the dream destination to me for such a long time. And I honestly never thought I would go. But my sister and I one day, we just decided maybe what if we could go? And we started sort of breaking down what it would take to get there, the cost of flights. Turns out the cost of flights, if you go economy, is not too bad. So we started to sort of look at it and go, okay, we can kind of do this right now. We may not be able to do this in the future. So we're just going to do it. And we did. We felt, it felt very bizarre. We sort of got on the plane and we thought, oh, we're actually doing this. This is like the top of our bucket list and we're actually doing this. This is kind of insane. But absolutely. I knew I was going to love New Zealand, and I did. I absolutely fell in love with it to the point where I've been mourning being back since.
Do you think now going there, is it a place you would go to again? Because there's some places in the world you go to once you experience it and you're very happy, you can put it to bed. Will you go back again? Does it feel like there's a lot of stuff untouched?
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to figure out how I can live there, to be honest. But there's not enough time. We were there for about a month, and it's still not enough time to see everything. We mostly sort of situated ourselves in the South Island. We didn't really touch the North at all. And when you really look at New Zealand, there's, especially for landscape photography or photography in general, so many. The whole country is picturesque. It's just everywhere you go, there's an amazing view of something. So absolutely have to go back to give it another go. So
okay. So in terms of planning for your trip then, what did that look like? Obviously it's a really, really long trip, right? It's a long air flight, it's a long preparation. How did you prepare for this trip?
Yes, my sister and I, we spent months looking at what would be the ideal road trip, essentially for us. Where is it that we wanted to go? What were we going to prioritize to see? And we then kind of just built or drew up a map of where we were going to start and where we were going to finish. And so it did a lot of research, sort of getting inspiration from other photographers and creators who have been there to see, okay, their advice, their experience with doing that kind of thing. So, yeah, we planned together the trip pretty precisely, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay, and I've actually got a map you shared with me, which I'll just bring onto screen now. So it was mostly Southern Ireland, right? I know you went to the north, and I know you went for a reason. And I will reluctantly not discuss it.
Hobbiton, for anybody who's curious.
I will go one day. I will go. So yes, yeah. So in terms of the trip, then, why did you pick these places out of everywhere you could go to? What were these places meaning for you?
I think, to be honest, most of these places are kind of the go-to. Your first time in New Zealand as a tourist, you hit these places. I think it's the I guess a popular road trip, but mostly what we were looking for were mountains and lakes. And the South Island does not have a shortage of either. And it's been a really, really long time since I've been anywhere with huge mountain sort of landscapes just all around you. So honestly, it was I just couldn't stop going, oh my God, look at that, look at that. It was just absolutely breathtaking. So yeah, we essentially just followed the mountain range sort of from Milford Sound back towards Christchurch.
Okay. And in terms of kit you brought then, what obviously OM was a consideration, and obviously we're having this chat because you took OM. What was the reason behind that?
The number one reason I would say is the how lightweight the kit is and how small the kit is. So I am terrible I have to take pretty much every lens I own if I go on a trip because I don't want to miss out. What if I needed this lens and I don't have it? So I have a lot of FOMO. So for anybody who doesn't know, other system that I have is a Nikon DSLR system, which is pretty big and heavy. And anytime I have traveled with that, I have to leave a lens or two behind. It's usually my telephoto lens. So yeah, this perfect lightweight travel setup. And I pretty much was able to take the OM1 Mark II, a small macro lens, the 60mm, a 12 to 100 mil lens, a 7 to 14, and a 100 to 400, all in my bag with some room to spare, actually, which was great.
I think personally, for me, it's really great to hear about the different kits or layout or loadouts that you have, because often, and being really transparent, often you kind of sit or you listen to shows like this and it's so heavily biased or exclusive. It's like, oh no, I just use this. Like the reality is you kind of use the best tool for the job, and it's good for you to say, okay, I use that is great for that given occasion. This is great for that given occasion. And it's nice to see how, we're considered in how you go about producing your work. It's like, okay, I know that's going to serve me very well in this given scenario, so that's what I take, rather than being like this total shut out bias. It's like, no, this is what I shoot on, so this is the only option I have. And I think, yeah, it's really refreshing for me to hear that and see how you go about the logic behind you getting your work done.
Yeah, I mean, also in terms of filters, I didn't have to take a set of filters with me, which sometimes can take up a lot of room in a camera bag as well. So it definitely slimlined my camera bag, which was great because I could, we were going out for hours at a time. I'd have a camera bag on and it just wasn't heavy. It wasn't cumbersome. I didn't have to think about the gear on my bag, which was great. So it was absolutely perfect.
Love it.
Brilliant. So let's get deeper into this then. I'm going to show some of the images that you've shared with us. And maybe you could tell us a little bit about them, and hopefully we'll get some feedback from some of the viewers as well in terms of what their thoughts are. So let's bring these up. And yeah, so where are we? What are we doing here?
So we are in very rainy Milford Sound. So yeah, we took a drive into Milford Sound and stayed on a local boat for the night, which was, yeah, very fun. Milford Sound is a very interesting place because you kind of need almost very specific conditions to get the photos you want. Everybody wants the waterfalls that it's very famous for, but you also want to see all of the mountain views. And so when we went, we had consistent torrential downpour. So we had hundreds and hundreds of waterfalls everywhere, which was really amazing. But we had such low cloud that we couldn't see any of the mountain views, which was a bit disappointing, but at the same time it was just so incredible just to sort of be there and sort of the atmosphere and mood of the place. But yeah, though it's really hard to describe Milford Sound. It's you do a long drive through the fjordlands to sort of then get there, and it's just really epic. So yeah, this was on a boat. And we were sort of being driven towards this waterfall so that we could feel the spray of it, which is a fun thing. But after taking this photo, I kind of ran indoors so that I wasn't completely drenched.
Amazing.
You weren't willing to test the OM1 waterproof then?
Oh no, I've already tested that many times. Yeah, no, it can hack a waterfall. It's just me that can't hack the waterfall.
Yeah, I think on first glimpse, looking at the image, I think it's beautiful. It's stunning. Like there's technical elements to it, but it's just really captivating. And I can understand the situation you're in, like the abundance of water, you've then got mist, but this is the real water you want to catch, and you've kind of waited and timed it, and it's a great photo. Good shout.
Thank you.
One of my personal favorites out of the set. So astonishing image. I always like a black and white mountain range. You can't ever go wrong. But tell us about it. I want to know more.
Yeah, I believe this one, I've taken quite a few black and white mountain ranges. It really is just sort of the perfect subject and setting for it. I mean, there are no shortage of mountain ranges in New Zealand. They're just everywhere. So I feel like I have a million photos that look like this, just all very slightly different, but I love all of them. But I believe this one in particular is near the Diamond Lakes in Wanaka. Yes. So a few hours from Milford Sound, maybe, or I'm thinking of another one. It could be, at this point, who knows? There's so many of them. But yeah, it's just, I had a lot of fun sort of going in for more intimate shots as well as wider scenes. And of course, I had the 100 to 400 and 12 to 100 lenses that are very versatile in being able to go for a wider shot and then be able to sort of zoom in a bit and choose something that's a bit more intimate and a bit more different. So yeah, it's very atmospheric. I have to say New Zealand is very atmospheric, and I think works perfectly for black and white photography.
Yeah, black and white is so powerful because effectively you've got black and you've got white and all the kind of this, but you can tell so much with the shading in between. And like, as you see, it's dark at the bottom, it goes up through all this gradation. Yeah, it's really beautiful, very, very beautiful.
Yeah, black and white just allows to all those color distractions just to be completely eliminated straight away. So suddenly you get this really lovely contrast. So how did you approach your landscape photography then for this trip? Was it different to kind of what you'd normally do?
Yes, yeah. It was more of being experimentative and just more relaxed approach, I think, just sort of enjoying photography and not really thinking too hard about the photos that I was taking. I wasn't chasing portfolio shots or anything like that. I was staying very flexible and working with the conditions that I had and you know, the locations that I was going to. You know, we just sort of wanted to experience the place, and then I naturally just wanted to photograph it as I experienced it. I think it's very easy when you do such a big trip like this for there to be that weight of pressure. Okay, I have to make it worth it, and I have to take the best photos ever in my life. Otherwise, you know, what will people think, or will I be disappointed in myself? So I had to, you know, really talk to myself and say, okay, some of these places are one-time visits only. You know, I just have to enjoy it, be present in the moment and make the most of it. So yeah, it was a bit more relaxed. It was essentially half a photography trip and half a holiday. So it was, yeah, but it was really nice to relax more in my photography and not sort of chase perfectionism quite so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, I think that's really powerful, and I think we could all get wrapped up in kind of getting stuck in, got to come away with something so important, but you forget to feel the moment and just live in it. And we spoke before we came on live, you know, and I asked you kind of, did you create an itinerary, a shot list to go out and collect? And you were like, no, we just kind of went up and went off gut feeling. We had an idea of where we were going to go, but everything off the back of that was instinctive. And I think it's really important for people that are watching, you know, Courtney's, you know, a consummate professional at what she does, and you know, you're even able to just turn up and just go off gut feeling rather than overanalyze it and take the joy out of it. So I think it's a really important message to share to any creative, whether it's music, whether it's photography, or anything. So it's nice to hear you say that.
Yeah. So this is a great time for me to ask the question that I ask pretty much every ambassador or every kind of photographer we get on. Have you ever watched Walter Mitty, The Life of Walter Mitty, the film?
I have. I only watched it last year though, but I have watched it.
That actually breaks my heart a little bit. Anyway, so obviously at the end of the film, a photographer gives us this moment where he decides not to take the shot because he wants to live in that moment, as we were just talking about. Was there a moment in that trip that you got to that point where you just stopped and went, I could take this picture, but I'm not going to, because this is the moment I want to capture it in my head, in my memories for the rest of my life?
Yeah, I think there were probably many of those moments. I think in terms of my photographic process, I tend to leave the camera in the bag initially anyway and sort of take in where I am before I even start thinking about photography. So I definitely gave myself the time to really appreciate where I was and what I was looking at. I think there were a few locations that I didn't take photos at all because I was just so in awe. Or there's a place very specifically, for anybody who knows where it is, in Arthur's Pass or near Arthur's Pass, called, I think it's Castle Hill. And it's these absolutely insane, it's really hard to describe, sort of rock formations where there was once a lake there, or ocean, I can't remember what it is. And just sort of looking at that landscape and trying to visualize how that was created through time and nature was just absolutely mind-blowing and incredible. And yeah, I just allowed myself to appreciate it and not really worry about taking photos of it. And that was, I was perfectly happy to do that.
Good.
I think very, 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 very powerful and well said.
I just want to bring someone's comment in. What was the name of the movie? The Life of Walter Mitty. Make sure you go and see that movie. And the other person I want to bring in is Hello Krish. I was literally talking to you an hour ago. So in terms of other images, let's just quickly move on. Here we go. Probably one of my favorites out of the set. I know you've been kind of showing it on some of your other footage on YouTube and stuff. Where does this photo kind of, in terms of the best images you have out of the ones you've edited so far, is this up the scale, or is this kind of the start of the whole project you're going to release later on?
Yeah, for me, this was really sort of the beginning of the photographic trip for me. So in my mind, this was me sort of dipping my toes in and kind of getting into a rhythm of how I was approaching the trip and, working with the conditions. So yeah, it's a scene that I'm fond of. I think this is at Milford Sound. This is when the weather started to clear just a little bit. So I was still, okay, I've got to work with what I've got. The cloud could come back in at any moment. I've just got to take this photo right now and be, instinctual and spontaneous. So yeah, it's definitely the start of relaxing into that process.
Cool. And what would you say, did you have to use kind of like any other different techniques or anything in the camera differently than what you normally would?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I took the shot handheld, which for me is a big deal because I'm terribly shaky handheld most of the time. I am on a tripod. If you don't see me on a tripod, then a miracle is happening, to be honest. And so I had the image stabilization on within the OM1 Mark II, which really just was perfect. It meant I could get a sharp image, which was fantastic. So I was able to get a really low, more dramatic angle handheld because my tripod just sort of wasn't going to get in that position. And I also used the Grad ND filter in the sky there so that the highlights wouldn't be completely blown out.
Which for people that don't know, in terms of like managing the exposure triangle, you're trying to manage three different settings to kind of manage the light. If you've got a really bright sky and you're trying to bring in detail for it, it's really difficult to do. So you need filters over the front of the lens to be able to manage the light coming through. We have built-in filters or digital filters that does it in sort of in body, which is really useful. And you mentioned it earlier, that means you don't have to then carry the ND filters, which are separate bits of glass and screw on. So people that don't have experience with landscape or using filters, that's kind of how it works. And yeah, you've explained it fantastically well. And it's good that you can produce this work with the technology that's built in.
Yeah. We do have a question for you. How many pictures did you shoot this whole entire trip?
I can't give you a number because I have no idea. All I can say is that there's a lot and I still haven't gone through all of them weeks later. So it's going to keep me busy for a good while. I would say that, I mean, the images that you have here were quite literally the very sort of initial images that I pulled once I got back immediately. And I think I could probably do a few rounds of going through the images over the next few weeks or months and then pick out even more photos that I quite like. So yeah, it will keep me busy for a while.
Which I think is really an important time to say, if you don't already follow Courtney on her YouTube channel and her socials and stuff, if you want to see more of the trip unfold, now is a perfect time to make sure she's like in your list of people you follow if you appreciate the work.
Yeah. So, okay, I've got a great question. So, where's it gone? I've just lost it. I've lost it in my head. It's gone. That's great. Wow. Luke, carry on. I've lost my process in time.
So one of the questions that we've got a list of questions we wanted to ask is like, you know, from a creative perspective, did this like recharge your energy? Because sometimes we spoke about like overanalyzing a situation, going away. That's very taxing. That's very heavy. Did you come back from the trip feeling recharged? Like, did it re-inspire you from a creative perspective? Because, you know, what you do, you pump out a lot of work and you're producing a lot of videos on YouTube all the time. It can get to a point where you need a refresher, and sometimes photography is not that. So have you found that this trip has given you kind of back that energy in and around the art?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, in terms of the actual trip, we made sure to give ourselves a few days in between sort of heavy exploring to rest in between. But yeah, in terms of like creatively, yeah, I think exploring new places, different landscapes to what I'm used to doing, it really did get me out of, it probably sounds really awful, but I'm very rigid in my photography, sort of the approaches I have, the subjects that I photograph. And although I still did landscape photography, it was just slightly different. So it allowed me to just sort of step outside my little box. You know, I've been squirreled away in the Forest of Dean for years at this point. So it allowed me just to kind of step out and go see something very, very different. I think it reinforced the subjects that I'm very passionate about and that I love to photograph. And it also exposed areas of my process and my photography where I want to continue to grow more and experiment more. You know, in an example was a lot of these locations had a lot of people in or were surrounded by, you know, towns and things, and photographing people or photographing more sort of like urban places and, you know, street photography is not something that I'm particularly comfortable with. So that's very interesting that I could step into that and see what that does creative wise and, you know, what skills I might learn. So yeah, it definitely is given me a lot of inspiration that I can work with.
Cool. So I have remembered my question, and it's not even a really important question, but did you have any travel disasters? Everyone's got to have one.
Oh, not really. Yes, there was like the tiniest one. And I'm very embarrassed by it, to be honest with you. Mostly, no, it went really well. We're planners, you know, we plan things well, and, you know, but yeah, I did manage to smash the right wing mirror of my hire car into a very big concrete pillar, which you think you would notice it's there, but apparently not. So yeah, which I did that very early on in the trip. And like, it wasn't, I said I smashed it, but I knocked it, and it just sort of knocked the casing off, and it had to sort of put it back on. And the hire car company never knew. So
until now.
Until now. But they've already invoiced me, so they can't do anything about it.
Yes, win.
But that was probably the only bad thing I think that happened. Otherwise, we were just honestly living a good life.
Brilliant. Okay, and what was the funniest thing then, apart from that? Because that sounds hilarious.
It wasn't hilarious at the time. I was a bit stressed. No. Oh, I can't go anywhere. Funniest thing. Oh my gosh. There were probably, yeah. I think the funniest thing looking back for me was I went in a helicopter for the very first time. So past sort of the photos and this part of the trip that we're seeing now, we went to a place called Mount Cook National Park, or Iraqi National Park, and it's a bit further out away from all the towns and things, and it's absolutely stunning, just epic mountains everywhere. It's absolutely beautiful. And we had a spare afternoon, and a few people had kept telling us, oh, have you done that like helicopter ride above the glacier yet? No, not really. They said, oh, you should do it. And, you know, peer pressure, we decided we were going to go and do it. And I've never been in a helicopter before, so we took a helicopter sort of 20 minutes above a glacier, which was, the views were incredible. Sort of landed briefly, had a good look around, and then we ski planed back towards the airport terminal.
Nice.
Again, never been in a ski plane. And I don't really have many photos of this experience because the moment I was in the air, I was just like, I was sweating so much in nerves. Like my hands were just like wet. I couldn't hold my camera and it was just bumpy. And I was thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to survive this 20 minutes. And then, on the way back again, it was bumpy. And I'm just sort of holding the seat in front of me thinking, please let me get back to this airport without being unwell in the back of this plane and embarrassing myself. So I look back and I think, what was I doing? Why
Having
did I
the
think
adventure of a lifetime by the sounds of it?
Yes, I thought, who did I think I was at that point?
Brilliant. I guess a lot of people want to know what this mushroom is, so that's kind of why I paused on this image.
This, I believe, is a purple pouch fungus, and it's a fungus that is native to New Zealand. So when I spotted this, I think I kind of went a bit crazy, to be honest. It was right on the edge of a pathway in a place called Haas Pass, and there were lots of people coming down this pathway and just kind of staring while I sort of was making strange noises in excitement as I sort of bent down to photograph it. And I was not there for fungi photography, which if anybody who doesn't know of my work, I'm very passionate about photographing fungi. And so I wasn't there for that, but I was keeping an eye out at all times because it was autumn in New Zealand, so it's the perfect season for fungi growth. And I was looking for a very specific fungus that is also native to New Zealand, but I never found it. So this one was the second choice, but still really, really great.
So I'm super intrigued. It looks like it's going to give you like an upset stomach. Is it like, is it poisonous? What's the one that you didn't get to find? I'm intrigued.
So yeah, I don't believe you can eat this one.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you can eat this one. The one I wanted to find is called a pink bluegill. Or blue pink gill, if I got it the wrong way around. It is literally the mushroom that is on New Zealand banknotes.
Okay.
It's kind of famous, but it's not. I say it's not easy to find. We weren't quite in the right place. It's generally found along the west coast, I believe, and we were just on the edge of the west coast. So I did go out a few times and dragged my sister with me, and I was like, I'm gonna find one before I leave, but I didn't find one, unfortunately. But yeah, the one I wanted it's bright blue.
Okay.
It's absolutely beautiful looking.
Love that.
Nice. This is another shot I actually fell in love with. Now, you give me another option here as well, which is that one. Which one out of the two do you prefer? I'll go back to the first one.
I'd love to know other people's opinions. I go back and forth.
Yeah.
Fine. Personally, I prefer the landscape sort of shot with the sun coming in, hitting off all the off the grass there, and then just spots coming through the window is perfect. So there we go. People coming in saying lovely shot. Someone wants to know if the mushroom was a handheld shot.
No, I did pop that on a tripod because I was focus bracketing. So I focus bracketed maybe 20 photos to get it all in focus. So I popped myself on a tripod just to ensure I had maximum stability for that.
Amazing.
Cool. Okay. Well, everyone that's watching, then, if you can put in the comments 1 or 2, this will be picture 1. That'll be picture 2. Let us know. I want to know which everyone's thoughts are. So I'll just go back to 1. That's number 1. So if you like number 1, put in the comments number 1. And if you like this one, put in number 2 and let us know. Oh, okay. Another lovely shot. That I keep forgetting about this one, but it is stunning. Thunder Creek, I'm guessing.
Yeah, how did you know?
It says it at the top, so I'm going by that. And I've had to look at it for like 5 days preparing this.
Yeah, Thunder Creek Falls.
Don't give away the illusion, Richard. Shh.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so tell us about this image. Tell us that it's not at Thunder Creek at all. It's somewhere completely different. You just play my mind.
Yeah, I just made up a name. Like, I do tend to name my photos random things, to be fair. So no, this is called Thunder Creek Falls, and it's in a place called, or a section of mountainous landscape called Hast Pass. And yeah, it was just this sticks out to me because it was a very, apart from the sound of the waterfall, it was a very quiet place. And many of the places we went to, because they're very iconic places for tourists to visit, they can be quite busy at times. And this was just so quiet. It was just sort of us there. So I got to really just sit and just let the world fall away. And, waterfalls, it's like white noise, it's meditative. So I really just sat here for a little bit and just had so much fun taking photos.
Nice. Someone wants to know what lens?
What lens? This was the 7-14 mil f2.8.
Nice. And is that an ND filter there or just long exposure?
Yes, ND filter
on
for long exposure. Yes, yeah. So used to the built-in ND filter to get a slightly slower shutter speed for softer water, that's a creative choice. I know not everybody enjoys super long exposure in terms of water subjects, but I like that it creates a slight dreamy feel. So I always experiment with ND filters.
Love it.
Nice. And then obviously slightly different image. So why going? So in terms of going from one to the other, why this particular image?
This was a sort of a pivotal moment in the trip where I realized something about my photography, and I essentially just wanted to see if I could find a second shot that was just very slightly different, and just exercise my seeing skills of what else through here can I find. There were a lot of rocks, but was there anything else? And initially I was looking for an intimate shot, but I found and spotted this, and I just loved the color of that little leaf. But yeah, this was a moment when I realized that I see every photo that I take as a very individual thing. That's one moment, one story. The next photo is a completely different moment, a completely different story. And I thought that it would be very interesting to start looking at my photos as a continuation of a story of images that interlink in some way, which is one of those ideas that I had that I've now brought home and I can work on in my local photography.
I mean, it's very like Inception, Christopher Nolan kind of thing. It's like a photo within a photo. I think it's a really interesting concept, and it's nice how you've challenged yourself to like look at an individual photo, but actually, what else is going on within this? You're just dissecting it a little bit deeper. I think that's a really interesting way to look at photography, and I've never heard anyone say that before, and I'm definitely going to consider it when I take photos. It's like, is there anything else that somebody else might see that I could draw attention to within that image? Yeah, touche.
Nice. And then we get on to the two final images. So we'll go to this one first. So why this image? Why are we showing this particular image?
Because I love a good tree. That's as simple as that. No, this is the famous Wanaka tree. And it's heavily photographed, to be fair. But as I said, I love a good tree, so I couldn't miss it out. And it's heavily photographed for a reason. It's famous because it's absolutely stunning. It's very picturesque. It's just on the edge of the lake there. And luckily, because it was autumn, managed to time it right with some autumn colors as well, which I was really happy with. And it was a challenge to photograph because although you're looking at it and it seems very sort of serene and it looks very isolated, there are just so many photographers just sort of to the left off frame and behind me. It's a heavily photographed place. So it was very interesting to sort of stand there and, with my usual work, it's usually just me and maybe another photographer or two. But for there to be so many of us essentially getting similar photos, it was quite an interesting experience.
And then obviously you have a second shot of, so I'm guessing that's the same tree by the looks of it.
Same tree, yeah, different angle, obviously.
So, and I watched your video earlier explaining that you're going back to this tree because it was too busy the first time you were there. So I don't know if you've spoken about anyone about that second experience taking the shot then. So can you tell us kind of what time you kind of got there? What was the situation?
Yeah, so the first time that we went to go and have a look, we essentially just got to Wanaka, and before checking into our Airbnb, we just went to go and have a look to see where it was. So we then returned. This is early morning, so this is just before the sun was rising, and it was a very overcast day. So it just ended up with being a very minimal, kind of moody, long exposure shot. But yeah, I returned again for golden hour and sunset, which the golden hour was the image before, and I think that was it. Yeah, we tried to go a couple of times just to sort of see, does it get any quieter, which it doesn't, but also just see what different angles could I photograph the tree at.
Makes sense. I think that is the end of the images, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is. So we did just have a couple of questions. One, how was New Zealand food? I think that's an important question to ask.
Oh man, yeah. Do you know what? The cuts of meat look healthier. They taste slightly different. My sister and I were discussing this a lot. How where they say that everything is free range, it is free range. You can see that there's a difference. But honestly, the food was good. The snack selection in the supermarkets were just golden. I just didn't try enough snacks, to be honest. I'm a very big biscuit and chocolate lover, so the biscuit and chocolate aisle, I was just in it constantly. But yeah, food is good.
Fine. And then if I can find it, there was one other one that isn't too related, but you will know more than anyone. So trying to decide between a Nikon Z6 Mark III and an OM1 Mark II for wildlife. What's your thoughts, Courtney?
This is always an awkward question because it really depends on what you prioritize in your photos, I think. If a lens for the Z6 II is going to be very heavy. It's going to be a big lens. It really depends on what focal length you want, to be honest. If you're itching for sort of 600, 800 mil, that's a big lens. And if you're going to prioritize weight, like I tend to, in terms, I don't want to carry heavy gear for a long time. OMSYSTEM, they have the 100 to 400, which in full frame terms is 200 to 800, and it's a very compact lens. So it depends on what you're going to prioritize, really.
Well, you dealt with that very diplomatically. Good work.
Luke, we just want to ask one more question just whilst I'm setting up a few more images, please.
Yeah, my question to you would be, when you go and travel or you go to different places in the world, you tend to come away, you learn things either about yourself or about kind of like the art form you're taking. Like, what's been the biggest takeaway for New Zealand for you? Is going to contribute to your future work as a photographer, as a creative?
Oh my goodness.
So it's still a loaded question.
Yeah, that's a big question. I think, in a way, I don't know, because I'm still sort of processing. I think getting out of my comfort zone slightly with this trip, I think, will do wonders for my photography in general. And that's going to be sort of a journey and a process where the results of that will probably not come for a little while. So I think it has given me more energy to keep going. I think I didn't realize that I felt a bit stuck beforehand until I sort of unstuck myself. So I think, yeah, it's probably some motivation to every so often just go somewhere different. It doesn't have to be the other side of the world. It could just be within the UK, or just go and dip my toes into something very different for an alternative perspective, I think.
A great answer. I love that. Thank you.
Nice. A nice question here. Did your sister enjoy it as well? We haven't spoken about her a lot. We probably should. Did she enjoy time?
She did, yeah. She is also very upset that she's back in the UK. But no, she did enjoy it. I think there was one day where she really didn't like me. And that's because I don't know if you know of the Nevis swing in Queenstown. Essentially, it's a big swing over a canyon. It's sort of like bungee jumping, but not. Instead of physically jumping yourself, you're just released and you kind of swing.
Oh, yes, yeah, I think I've seen this, yeah.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah. And she did not enjoy that at all. But apart from that, she really enjoyed the trip.
Brilliant. And another question from the same person, because I think this is an important one. The answer is yes. Before you didn't even know I have to ask the question. Essentially, we're already coming, right? So
you've got to go.
We've just got to go. Luke, make it happen. Come on,
Done,
I know you can.
I will take responsibility. Get this done.
So out of those images, have you got a particular favorite at the moment? Obviously, I know you don't kind of want to rate your own work, and no one likes rating their own work, but is there one image out of all those that you've shown us that kind of was the pinnacle so far that you've looked through? Obviously, I know you've got a lot of images.
Yeah, I would say so far the sunrise image that you showed the two variations of, that was from a place called Lake Tekapo. That's definitely one of my favorites. And I think that's one of my favorites also because it's not conditions I usually shoot in. I think we can have quite overcast weather a lot in the UK.
Yeah.
And I admit that I'm very much when it's very, very sunny and blue skies, no clouds, very harsh, I don't shoot in that very often. Again, and during this trip, especially that sunrise, I did go out and make that effort. And actually, I don't know what I was complaining about. It can be tricky. I had to exposure bracket, but it produces beautiful results as well. So
nice.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite.
And did you use a technical question? Did you exposure bracket in camera?
I did,
or
yeah.
Did you do it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's what we all want to hear.
That's what the camera's there
for. So have you thought of your next destination then? And everyone will be thinking in the background going, yeah, okay, you've done that. You've done New Zealand. So what's next?
Honestly, New Zealand is still the top of the list. If I can go back, I'm there. Any opportunity. But oh my gosh. I mean, as an outdoor photographer, my list is extensive of places I would like to go to. I don't currently have any trips planned, but it would be nice to plan something else. But yeah, I go to Iceland every so often. Iceland is, again, one of those places you just can't get enough of. You've got to keep going back. I would love to go to Oregon in the States.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That looks like it's gold for landscape photography. Yeah. And the Faroe Islands, which is not too far from us, and I've never been. So
some interesting destinations.
Yeah.
Interesting mix. Last question then, what is the plan for the rest of the year?
Oh gosh.
Apart from edit.
Apart from edit, there's a lot of editing. I'm staying within the UK, I think, for the rest of the year. Depends how much I miss being abroad. But you sort of get the travel bug. You travel once and then you just feel like you need to go somewhere else again. But staying local. But this time of year, in particular, I like to kind of step out and do some different things. So a bit of wildlife and insect photography is something I'm going to do. And of course, still some macro, like general as macro and landscape work. And I keep mentioning it and people keep egging me on, maybe dip my toes into street photography. Maybe.
We're going to discuss that kind of now-ish to a certain extent.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to get you a little bit hooked, and then what we'll do, we'll throw you some cameras, get them in your hands, and then suddenly your whole YouTube will be covered in street photography.
There we
go. So talking about street then, thank you for the exclusive interview with us about kind of New Zealand, and you know, thank you for your answers to some of our interesting questions, and hopefully some of the viewers got some stuff out of that, which is great. So let's move on to camera showdown then. OM1 versus OM3, and I'm going to go straight into the images to put you guys out of mix slightly. So let's talk about OM1. So Courtney, OM1, what's your thoughts on the OM1 in general?
Oh, in general, I like it.
That's a good start.
No, the OM1, this is where it's the way I kind of view my cameras now as mostly work-based. So for me, it's a very business-like professional camera. It's essentially a DSLR ergonomic design in a small body, in a more portable and lightweight body. So yeah, I think it's very much designed for precision and sort of stability under pressure, that kind of thing. Good for hybrid shooting, video and stills, with the dual SD card slots as well, which is one of those. It's a must. When I'm buying a camera, I always need 2 SD card slots so I can separate my video and my stills. So yeah, that's kind of how I view the camera.
Okay, I was actually going to ask, in terms of, obviously you do have to make a lot of video for the content you create. Do you actually use your OM1 Mark II a lot for that, or is it another brand, or is it?
Yeah, so most of the sort of talking shots of me are filmed on a Nikon Z30, which is a very, very small mirrorless camera. Any sort of secondary footage, like B-roll shots, could be shot on that, or could be shot on essentially whatever camera I have with me, which at the moment is generally the OM1 Mark II. So yeah, in terms of being able to photograph video scenes sort of far away in order to be able to show the audience what it is that I'm looking at in camera, then it works brilliantly for being able to film as well.
Okay, cool. So the OM1 is obviously a very advantageous camera, right? It can do everything you could possibly think of it to do, and probably a little bit more. But you're probably right in the fact that it's a very technical camera. It's a very kind of, for me, I would explain that it's very much a workhorse. So if you're going to do kind of your landscapes, your wildlife, your kind of anything nature-wise, or even kind of sports-related, that's kind of the beast you're going to pick up, right? But Luke, OM3, that's not where that really sits, is it? And let's go to your image to kind of show that.
Yeah, so this was shot in Fez in Morocco for a recent trip that I went on. And for me, I totally agree with what you guys are saying in terms of the OM1 Mark II. It is a workhorse. Like, it's got so many technical features that will allow you to produce work, of commercial caliber. Definitely, it allows you to do that. For me, people that don't know, I had a career as a professional photographer. I don't want to touch a camera and I don't want it to feel like work. Like, if I pick up a camera, I don't want it to feel remotely like work. I want it to feel like fun and play. I want to be able to enjoy the process. And to the point where I've now kind of swapped in the OM3 for a TG7, because it's even more fun, because you take away some of those heavy technical features. It's just about capturing what feels right in that moment in time. So for me, the OM3 it allows me to feel what I'm feeling and capture that, rather than get caught up in, okay, right, I've got to put this on a tripod and this needs to be my exposure and I want to make sure that's totally perfect and I'm going to go away and edit it for a day. So but then flipping it on its head, if someone said to me, Luke, I need you to go and do a composite shot of a bottle of drink in a studio, yeah, of course, the OM1 Mark II I'm going to pick up, and that's the product I'm going to use for that. So yeah, for me, I want it to feel like play, and the OM3 allows me to do that. And that doesn't take anything away from the 3 in saying that it's not capable of doing professional quality work, because it totally can. Like, some of the features in there have blown my mind. I'm like, how does this little camera do all of this stuff? It's incredible. So if you wanted to push it to that, you could potentially do that as well.
Yeah. And I think the understanding, we get a lot of people ask this question, what's the difference between the OM3 and the OM1 Mark II? When I'm standing in a store or, doing an event, it's the question I get asked 9 out of 10 times. And for me, I find that if you want a personal camera or a travel camera that you don't have to think too professionally with, but you want to feel that you get a personal touch out of the camera, then that's the OM3.
Yeah.
If you want a professional workhorse that you can guarantee is going to get you the shots for that kind of that bird flying through the sky or that plane or whatever it might be, then that's kind of the OM1 is the place for it to be. And I think both your images kind of capitalize on that. So, if I just go back to this, that is an aesthetically pleasing camera, right? Image, and it's technically done incredibly well with the angle coming down, the trees pointing straight, and that sort of thing. And then you look at your image, Luke, and
shot from the hip.
Shot from the hip. It's a bit more kind of stylized in terms of it's meant to be more almost documentary sort of style, right? So there's and this is what I try and get to kind of to grips with and get customers and people to understand, is that the OM3 is very much there to be that real personal camera. It'll give you some great colors out of it, and obviously you got the color dials and everything else on it. But then that OM1 is that real workhorse that if you're going up that mountain, you want to guarantee that shot. That's kind of the way to be.
Correct.
Is the OM1.
Yeah, I think also one of the other things I wanted to add on as well is the tool is very specific for the job you're pointing it towards. If I was going to go lay in a field to take a photo of a deer and I need to be laid there for 4 hours, the OM3 is not going to be the camera for that, because of its ergonomics, it's not designed to bear that level of kind of like intensity.
It could do it.
It could do it.
Could do it, but it's not designed to do it.
Not designed to do it ideally. So you would go for the OM1 Mark II, and then we're talking about the 3 and the 5, but then there's also the 1 and the 3, but there's also the 5 in the middle. The 5 takes a lot of what's good between both of those and kind of finds like a nice point in the middle where it's lighter, it can still be a little bit more fun and play with, and it finds this sweet spot in between. So although we're talking at two ends of the spectrum, like people were mentioning in the comments, there's still the 5 in between. So if you are torn between do I go for the 3 or do I go for the 1, it's like there's a sweet spot in the middle with the 5. It kind of gives you a bit the ability to do both.
Yeah, exactly that. So this is one of my shots where I went to Birmingham the other day, and I took the OM3. And again, I spent an hour in Birmingham, and it was very kind of personal time almost. I ended up actually finding myself personally thinking more creatively with it, where I'd normally take an OM1, right? I'd normally take an OM1, try and do some street with it, but I'd then always be thinking about angles and my exposure properly and that sort of thing. Where the OM3, I spent an hour and I've taken like 500-600 shots of street, and I haven't thought about a single one of them. I just thought creatively how everything is put together. And so you look at this shot from Birmingham, for example, on OM3 in comparison to OM1, and it's a very stark difference, right? The OM1 is thinking more structure, I suppose. It's hard to explain. So, Courtney, any further thoughts on OM3 to OM1?
I think essentially they're very similar cameras in terms of specs. They have different philosophies.
Good. That's a great word, philosophy. That's a very good word.
Yeah, that's the word we've been missed out of this whole time. So
glad I can be helpful.
But obviously we'd like to know the viewers' thoughts, right? So everyone kind of put the comments in and let us know what you think, one, about our images that we've just shown, but two, where do you think the OM3 sits in terms of our range? Is it a personal camera, as kind of me and Luke are saying, and is the OM1 that professional workhorse, or are you quite personally touched by your OM1 as well? Are me and Luke missing something on that? Courtney, do you think we're missing something on that? Obviously, you've just gone to New Zealand with no OM1, right? You've taken some quite personal images. Do you think we're missing a point on that, or?
No, I think you probably could. It's a mindset, really, isn't it? You probably could use the OM1 and go take some more sort of creative, arty shots. Is it a case? It'd be interesting to know what sort of people in the comments think. Is it a case of like a mindset of, I've got all of these features, this camera can do this and this and this, I have to use it? Or, does the OM3 sort of simplify the ergonomics, and then you just don't feel the need to go in and be a bit anal about the photos that you're taking?
Really interesting comment in there as well that someone has said, basically, the light leaks by Marcus. He said that he found using the OM3 it's less intimidating for people on the other side of the camera, and I think that's so totally true. Someone sees you whip out a camera with a big grip and a massive lens, and all of a sudden how they conduct themselves changes. Whereas if someone just pulls out a little kind of flashy thing from the hip, it's a little bit more accepting to do that. So then when you frame the OM3 as more of a street camera, it's not just about what the camera can do technically, but it's about how that's accepted in that environment. And the OM3 allows, as Marcus was saying, to do that. You can whip it out. People are going to be unassuming. You're in Bangkok and you pull out an OM3, no one bats an eyelid. Fantastic. That's great. You're going to get fantastic shots in that city. Whereas you pull out a 75 to 150, oh, what's going on here? Everyone's behavior changes slightly. So it's a really interesting point you raised, and I totally agree.
Good. Well, hopefully that's been useful to people. We are running over time, so we're going to try and speed things up slightly. I'm sure we all want some food at some point. So we're going to move on to the OMS Talks challenge. Now, Courtney, I know obviously you haven't been a part of this, but maybe you can judge mine and Luke's images for this challenge.
Yes, please.
So, Luke, talk us through the challenge. What was it? What did we have to do?
So Urban Adventure, we basically challenged ourselves to go out and take photos as part of an urban adventure, and we created a hashtag that went along with it, which is OM Talks. So for those of you watching, if you want to do this is going to be an ongoing thing. So if you've watched this and you take photos, hopefully you will do, whether it's on a phone or an OM, whatever it is, you can upload these to Instagram. You can use OM Talks. What we will do is every month we will look through those photos, find ones that are notable and share those. But it also pushes me and Richard to challenge ourselves as photographers, because it's great us sitting here talking about photography, but if you don't have much experience in a given genre, it's not very valid. So we've been pushing ourselves to go out and do this, and it was Urban Adventure, and these are the photos off the back of it. So
Yes, I have just put the hashtag back into the comments as well, so when we set our next challenge in a second, everyone can get involved. So, but let's have a look at these images. Let's bring them on. So OM Talks. And have I done the wrong thing? Probably.
This is my photo, by the way. It wasn't me.
It's a good thing this is live, right?
That's great.
Yep. Totally done the wrong thing. Hold on.
Whilst you do that, I will segue nicely into, if you are watching this, take photos, upload them, use the OM Talks. For us, I think this is really important. Like we produce these to integrate into the community of photographers that support OM and want to pursue the art form. So it's really important that people interact with that, and it gives us visibility of what you guys are doing. So for instance, like Marcus raised a really interesting point about using the OM3. Marcus, I challenge you, go and use OM Talks and be a part of this challenge, and next time when we're sat here in a month's time, we can maybe potentially talk about your work. And as this rolls on and grows bigger, it's our way of connecting with the community a bit deeper, because it's all great us just sitting here talking to a camera, but this is your chance to interact and bring it back. So I highly recommend you to do so.
So right, I've got the images, guys. It's all right. We saved the whole entire thing. So I actually picked out one image for Courtney that is the most urban I feel like you might ever get to.
Okay.
So, it's got a path in it. It's got to be urban, right? I haven't seen a path in any other images I've seen, so that's where it's got to be.
This is as urban as I get. Yeah.
So I'm sure we can develop it later, but it's a lovely shot, mine. Where is that? Is that in the Forest of Dean, or is that?
Yeah, is it technically Forest of Dean or Monmouthshire? It's Cadora Woods. No, I think it's Monmouthshire actually, just on the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful place. Wild garlic and bluebells in spring, which we've just passed. But yeah.
So everyone can tell us whether some greenery and a path counts as urban.
Yeah, it works for me.
Yeah, it's fine. Right, okay. Luke, you're up. Your image. Here we go.
Well done. Yeah, Morocco, in the winding alleys of Fez, Morocco. And for me, it was as urban as you can get, a tight alleyway made by men, like littered with art. And yeah, it was my version of urban adventure. So let me know what you think. Is it any good?
I love how your eye is drawn down to sort of that dark doorway, and then there's just like this little light and a person in there. It's just yeah, it's almost like was the person just walking through? Did you just manage to get it at the right time?
Just managed to get it at the right time. Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah.
But before that, there was a group of people, and I just wanted an individual person. It would have been great if I could have got it bang in the middle, but yeah, it's the beauty of like kind of chasing perfection is you'd never really get.
Yeah.
What camera was this, Luke? Was this OM3 again?
OM3, yeah, with the 17mm 1.8. For me, I'm a bit of a purist. 17mm is equivalent to a 35 at 1.8 on the OM3 Street. For me, it just marries up really beautifully, and I kind of like I'm old, so I get to lean into that a bit.
You know what? It's a weird one because I think I can tell it's an OM3 just by the colors out of it. And there's something about the OM3 colors that they suddenly just kind of pop and they work, and you just kind of know it's that shot. But yes, it's a stunning shot though. So
it's very kind of you. Thank you.
I don't think I'm going to win this challenge. Is the reality of it. So let's move on to me. So I've done a little bit of two because I've had a little bit of chance of time to do it. So I did this one, which is essentially two planes of glass, and just basically focusing on the edge of them. And then there was a really nice colored wall in the back, as you can see. And I just wanted to, instead of focusing on all that color, which then would just make a really messy picture, I just wanted to focus on that straight line, that one part of the edge of focus, I want to call it, or something like that, So, but the real image I think I wanted to do is this one here.
This is a banger.
So I'm going to call this guy Tim. He was sat in a coffee shop. I saw the reflection of the Tim Horton logo in coming through. There was another guy literally sat just opposite him, and he was looking at me the whole time, laughing, going, "I know what you're doing." But yeah, the whole idea that you can find a cowboy in Birmingham with an AC/DC patch on his hat, with the greatest beard in the world, in a coffee shop reading a book. I thought that was quite an iconic shot. So
that's amazing. Yeah, I love I kind of like, I want to know this person. Just so intrigued.
Right? I want him to be my granddad. Like, how do I make this man my granddad? Like,
I really wanted to knock on the window just to go, can I actually take like a proper portrait of you? But I'm no portrait photographer, so I would have done a poor job. But I just thought it was a great image. It was the one image out of that 1 hour of walking in Birmingham I was talking about that I just thought that's the one that really struck it for me. So there we go. Courtney, go on then. Who's the winner? Judge out the two images. This and the.
That's difficult. They're two very different photos. I don't know. This guy is pretty impressive, though.
Yeah, I give it to you. Like, I give you the dude. Yeah, it rocks. And you've patiently waited. You've got reflection. The image tells so many different stories. You can interpret that in so many different ways. And I think, for me, that's what you're always trying to achieve, isn't it? You're trying to tell as much as you can without saying a word, and it does that. So yeah, fair play, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So, thanks, guys. No, I didn't expect to win. Anyway, let's move on for that. I don't know how to take winning. So,
you can take it back. It's fine.
Take it back, please. Luke, talk to us about kind of the next challenge then. Just kind of what are we looking for next?
Yeah, so we're moving into summer in most of in the UK here. So we're moving into summer. So for us, it's about like summer scenic or summer scene. So how do you interpret sunshine? And for me, I think about people like Martin Parr with the old guy with a tea towel on his head and a melting ice cream with seagulls at the beach. Like, how do you tell the story of summer in a photo? So our challenge is going to be all around that. Is it a day out at the beach? Is it a walk around the park? Is it a bicycle ride to go grab a coffee? Like, how do you epitomize summer in your images? And use the hashtag OM Talks, and then me and Richard will go through and we will have this conversation with hopefully many more images that we can share and talk about and discuss.
Yeah. So take in mind, we've got lots of Americans on today. So we want to know what, actually, in terms of, we want to know what your classic summer looks like. Yeah. So, you know, show us your images of that. We'd be really, really intrigued. Is it that different away from the handkerchief on the head situation in the print? We'd like to know. So yes, I've put the hashtag in the comments as well. So make sure you grab that, copy it, and yeah, get on Instagram and start showing us some images. We might even try and give out some few bits for the winners for next time. So I'll have to go and get myself a mug now, won't I? That's the problem. So all right, let's move on then to something a little bit deeper, shall we? So the debate of the day is what makes a great image? And we'll throw some images up for this again. And again, unfortunately, Courtney, your name comes first in the list. So, so what makes a great image to you, Courtney?
I think I have so many different answers to this question, because I think there's just this spectrum of opinions. Everybody has a very different answer. But I think for me, the first thing that comes to mind is that an image that makes me feel something, whether it's awe, calmness, curiosity, disgust, anything, it kind of evokes an emotion within me.
Okay. And I'm going to put that back to you then. How does that image make you feel like that?
See, this is a difficult one, though, because with your own images, you naturally have an emotional attachment because you've taken the photo, you've seen a moment that resonated with you. So for me, this is very cozy because I saw this as a little family of fungi and I just thought it was really sweet. So I look at it and I just think like, oh.
Cute, moving.
So for me, going apart from the emotion, this image is obviously quite technical as well. You look at the backlighting on it and that sort of thing. Not alone have you thought about that emotion of that behind that and wanted to try and storytell that, but you've also then done it very technically, which when I think you start looking at both mine and Luke's images in a minute for this, I think you've done a bit of both in comparison. So I think you will kind of win this debate in that respect. But okay, let's move on to Luke then, and let's open this debate up a little bit further. I will come back to those in a minute, Courtney. So Luke, you've submitted two images. This is the first one, and then this is the second. What makes these two great images? I'll flick between the two.
So this image here is of a guy called Ant Middleton, who's like an SAS hero, and it was a commercial bit of work to support the launch of one of his books. And the book was called First Man In, and it was about his role in the military, where he would be the first man to open doors in dangerous situations. So what I was trying to do is tell that story without saying a word. So the light peering through the door, him looking away, deep in thought, a little bit of shadow, there's mystery. You know, it was trying to explain that scenario without saying anything. So for me, that's what I was trying to do, like evoke thought without saying a word. And that's very technical. Like for me, that was a very technical image to try and align with the book. The next image is a moment in time that people will remember for time to come. It's scruffy. It's not perfect. There's hands in the air. They're mimicking what the DJ is doing in that moment of time. And for years to come, people will talk about, oh God, do you remember that night where so-and-so played that track? And it just captures a real purity without any thought of the technicality. It's just like, that's that moment in time that people savor. So for me, I think it has to evoke emotion, whether that's thought-provoking emotion or deep, like heart-burning emotion, like it brings up a moment in time or makes you think about a situation.
Yeah, that I think with photography in general, what makes a great image is if you can empower some sort of level of emotion, no matter what that is. Or either bring in some level of technicality, or try and do both. which is normally the hardest thing in the world to do. Apart from Courtney can do it in one shot. But so you kind of look at kind of my images.
Love it.
You can go really technical, right? So that is kind of thinking about all the lines in the world in that image, right? And same with that. And then you get something really quite more personal, right? Take in mind, if anyone's interested in how good a 50 to 200 f2.8 is, this dog was less than a meter away from me, and it focused on the eye, pin shot, pro capture, 120 odd shots of whatever it was. So so for me, it's a kind of, I think there's a different way of being both technical and that being a great image, but also having that emotional response as well. And then you get to this image, which I took on holiday. And this is both, for me, was a technical challenge, but also quite an emotional one as well. It's not every day I get to plan an image like that and think about it. And then have the time to then sit there and wait for the light and that sort of thing, which Courtney does incredibly well. I just saw a video about that, how she can sit there for an hour and wait for some light to come across. And so, like I don't have that luxury. But in terms of the emotional stance on that, for me to have the time to enjoy that space, enjoy that time whilst I was waiting for that to happen was quite an interesting time for me, I would say. So in terms of what makes a great image, how would you summarize that, guys?
I would use the word intention. Whether it's technical or emotional, you've got intention behind it. So you're choosing framing choices, subject isolation. You're not just kind of shooting blindly.
I mean, I've owned a lot of those images.
I think all the images have to tell a story. I think that's what photography ends up being about. Like most people would say photography is all about kind of capturing light. Well, it's not just about that, right? It's what's making that light happen that you want to capture it in the first place, and it's the story that tells, whether it's a mushroom shot like that, or whether it's an action shot like something like that, or even something technical like that, for example. There's emotion. There's a story and emotion behind every image. It's not just that kind of the technical aspects, and I think people sometimes need reminding of that. I think we all think too technically sometimes.
Yes.
But hey, that's probably the end of that debate before we get too deep into crying, right? So, if anyone's got any questions or any thoughts on that debate, I think there was a few people. There's actually one about the mushroom image here. So, did you use flash on the fungi?
No, I used a reflector just to bounce some light onto the stems to fill in those shadows.
Nice.
Yeah, and if you don't have a reflector, kitchen foil does the same thing.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Another technical one for you, Courtney. 60 or 90mm macro?
Depends what you want to photograph. If you want super high magnification, 90mm. Simple. Yeah. I
literally shoot anything macro now on 90mm. after my big walkthrough with Pete Burford, that was kind of it. I was just like, right, I'm sold on that lens. And I'll also take this comment. Looks like a Windows desktop.
It does.
I will take that every day. If I can shoot that and make it happen, then I will take that. So cool. Awesome. So let's kind of move on. So me and Luke actually now have to do some proper work and actually tell you about some of the events going on. But I just need to bring up some imagery for that. So talk amongst yourselves. I'm sure Luke, you've got a question.
Yeah. So whilst Richard does that, any questions that we haven't gotten to in the comments, we will come back and we'll kind of sit through them and we'll try to give a response to all of those. And some of those we might not have a direct answer for, but we will go and source an answer. So if there's anything you want to ask, please make sure you put them in the comments and we will come back to you. So yeah, just we appreciate the comments and the questions and we will respond to you.
Nice. And if you've still got any questions for Courtney whilst we're still around for a few minutes, then yeah, by all means, send them over as well. I'm sure she'll be able to answer it. Right, so proper work time. Events in the UK. It's going to be a busy summer, isn't it, Luke? It really is. I think I ended up listing properly about 25 events. I've only managed to put a few on screen just throughout June, July, and August. So we are incredibly busy. So you will see me, Craig, and sometimes Luke literally everywhere. And by August, we'll all be exhausted. So, but to give you an idea, Craig is doing LC Birds of Prey experience. That should be a really fun one. So I don't know too much about it personally, but from the bits I have heard, it's going to be exciting. I'm doing the LC Manchester OM3 photo walk. So if you are interested in OM3 and you want to get your hands on one, I have 10 to play with on a photo walk all the way around Manchester and should be an interesting day. So get involved in that. When we've got a really big experience that we need to scream about. So Wex Experience Day, Urban Skate with Chris Schneger, who left us a comment a little while ago. This is going to be an incredible event. So I went and test shot this event a few days ago. This place is massive. It's a empty converted Debenham store right in the centre of Bristol. You'll be able to get your hands on OM3s, OM1s, OM5s, all the fast prime lenses you can think of. You even get to play with the 5200s. All the lighting kits all there set up for you, ready to go. All the kind of semi-pro skaters are ready to go there as well. So there's 4 to play with. All the shots are set up, so you're going to get some incredible stuff, black and white, colour. You get a really kind of full-on hands experience with all the kit. So you never know, we might even get Courtney to it. She might have the date free, you know, play with an OM3. I'm sure you won't mind for the day. 5200, you wanted to play with that, so it's there to play with.
Yeah,
so
you've got me.
There we go. So make sure you look at that event on our events page. Get that booked in ASAP. That is literally next Friday. It's going to be a crazy one. Talking then a bit more about street photography, the big walkthrough with Jimmy Cheng. That's going to be really fun as well. I'm sure we're going to learn everything we need to learn ever about street photography through that. Then we have a few more OM3 photo walks. So one with Park Cameras in London, one with Wex in London as well. Those are both with Jimmy as well. So not alone can you get a kind of an online session, but then a practical session if you live in London. And then we go straight into Wales and West, which I can just confirm, Courtney, you'll be there for us on Friday, will you not?
Yes, I will be. Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll be on stand. I'm not sure if you're doing any talk show. I don't think that's been decided yet, has it? But I think we're looking for availability or something. But but you'll be on stand. You'll have to put up with me all day. Oh, and Luke actually. So we get to do this in live. And then we've got our next OM Talks, which is with a friend of mine called Kieran Scudder. If you don't know him, he's travelled the world, I believe, 4 times on cruise ships now. He's gone, especially with OM Kit, to go and shoot Formula 1 for his 30th birthday, believe it or not. I've seen some results already. They are amazing. So we should see some really cool stuff from that. And then we've got macro days in Southampton. We've got more walks in Park Cameras in London. And then we've got Bug Park, which is almost sold out. Still 1 ticket left, as mentioned earlier. So, yeah, it should be Absolutely amazing experience that hopefully we'll bring it back later on in the year, get a second round in. And then another one I'm actually excited for was Longleat Safari Park with LCE again. That should be really, really exciting.
Yeah,
and that's just a snippet.
Yeah, there's loads going on. So for anyone that doesn't know, if you go onto our website, we have a landing page for our events, and you're able to filter by language and territory and things like that. So wherever you are in the world, check out the events that are local to you. If you are based in the UK, look at some of the events that are local to you and try and get to as many as possible, you know, and or if they're local to you, come down and just check them out, because as much as doing this stuff online is great, playing with the cameras in person is fantastic. Having conversations with people in person is fantastic. So yeah, if you get the opportunity to do so, please do. We would love to meet you in the flesh.
That's it. And I'm hoping that I've put some skateboard images or some test shots that I did at empty skateboards place. So let's double check this. Yeah, so unedited, just raw, straight out camera. So we'll have someone grinding over that pole, for example. We'll have someone jumping over the staircase, someone doing some half pipe stuff, someone coming down this ramp or even at the top of the ramp. That's a scary ramp, by the way. That's the whole skate park. It's crazy, right? Someone grinding over the pole, and yeah, quite a crazy, stunning place to get shooting. So get on board with that skateboard event for us, please. All good. I think that's all of that. Oh, we have got some more work to do. We've got to talk about cashbacks. So
yes. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Amazing.
Now,
do you want to go?
No, you don't. You know more about it than I do these days.
Cashback, you know, it's all great us talking about cameras, but ultimately we want you to buy cameras and use them and experience photography through the equipment that we make. And to incentivize you to do that, we offer cashback. So you buy a camera, you then get to redeem some cashback depending on what you buy. At the moment, it's Explore the City. So we've got the promotion around the OM3. So there's up to £250 back on given lenses and camera technology. So yeah, it's 250 on the 1.2, 17, 25, 45, the OM3 and the 12 to 45 kit. We then have like 175 on the OM3 body and the 1240, 125 on the 20, and then 75 on the 1.8, 17, 25, 45, and the offers end on the 14th of June. Now, I know for people in the USA, those prices are totally irrelevant to you, so I'm super sorry, but there will be relevant cashback promotions to your territory. So please don't quote me on those if you're on the other side of the world, but we've always got incentives to, like upgrade your cameras or chop in and try the things that we are talking about here. So enjoy. Save yourself some money.
Yeah. We genuinely don't know what the cashbacks are in New Zealand if there is any promotions, okay? So please don't hurt us for that. I did just see a question about any events in New Zealand. Genuinely go and check your events OM page. They will tell you all. I didn't check when I was looking, so apologies. So no idea. Interesting question then. What has been the greatest achievement with photography since becoming OM ambassadors? Well, so none of us are OM ambassadors. So me and Luke are fortunate to work with OM. Courtney, you are a very important key opinion leader, which I know Luke might be sorting something out for you in the future. But there's no exclusivity on that just yet. So, Courtney, would you like to go first in terms of what do you feel like your greatest achievement is? Let's ask that question instead.
Oh my God.
In a photographic manner.
In a photographic, yeah.
I don't need it personal.
Do you know what? I'm gonna go with learning how to focus bracket and stack, because I think that really has just sent me into a direction of photography that I absolutely love to death. So yeah, learning that skill, I'm gonna say.
Nice. Luke?
for me,
this is a really deep question. Sorry.
Yeah.
But it's really good.
For me, the biggest eye opener is I've worked in the industry for a very long time, worked for other brands that like operate in the space, and yeah, it's the wake up call in and around the difference between full frame and micro four thirds. You know, for me, it's like where is that image going? Majority of the time, it's going online. Micro four thirds has some incredible technology that allows you to do things that full frame can't do, and that's been kind of like the biggest achievement for me, is changing my opinion on what I believe is important when it comes to taking a photo. Sensor size is the most important thing for me, and you learn that. It's like, okay, that's a real humbling kind of wake up call, because it changes how you look at photography. No longer am I chasing megapixels and how big a file is and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, cool, this is the image I'm producing, and this is the tool I use to do that. So yeah, that's been kind of an achievement for me, because it's a bit of a wake up call.
Yeah. My answer to that would be going back to the Walter Mitty thing, right? So my point is, I can always take a picture until I'm emotionally overridden to not be able to take a picture. And I think that is the biggest achievement I can possibly have. It's to the point where actually the photography isn't the main point of why I'm sat there in front of my camera. It's the fact that I can't take the picture because I'm so emotionally taken back by what I'm looking at.
Yeah, it's not the destination, it's the journey, that old cliche.
Exactly, yes, yeah. So what else have we got here? Sorry, I should have prepared some of these earlier. This one. Yes, the first episode is on YouTube, so yes, you can go and see that now. That's ready to go. Yeah, this is actually a question I should have asked you. When did you start your photography?
Oh, I started photography a while ago. I actually started photography at university. So I studied film photography. Essentially, the first time I picked a camera up to take a proper photo was with a film camera. Yes. And slowly over time, just learned how to use a digital camera and got into landscape.
Okay.
Short answer.
No. I'm intrigued. Which university did you go to?
I went to Aberystwyth.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I think we're done. I think we just need to talk about that hashtag one more time. So, Luke, give it one more time. What's the hashtag, and what is it going to? What's the challenge?
The hashtag is, the challenge is, we want you to epitomize your summer. So how do you tell the story about your summer? In order for us to see that, you need to post them on social media using the hashtag OMTalks. Me and Richard will then go through those, and next month when we gather together, we will look through those images, and you may get a shout out, you may win a prize, but we want you to tell the story around summer. So take a photo epitomizing summer, use the hashtag OMTalks, and you may be mentioned. So we look forward to seeing your work.
Nice. So next show, F1 World Touring with Kieran Scudder, should be really fun, fascinating. I'm sure he's got lots of stories about the whole entire world to tell. So I think that will be a real fun one. Thank you, Courtney, for obviously coming on board and giving us a bit of an interview about New Zealand. Hopefully you've enjoyed the show.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you very much.
Good. And Luke, wow.
Well, thank you to everyone that's stayed and paid attention and contributed to the comments. Thank you for hosting it and putting it together. Seminal work, mate. Much appreciated. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, we'll get on it. So, right, let's get that challenge next sorted then. Right, thank you everyone in the comments. Great to see you. Thank you for everyone watching. This has been Richard, Luke, and Courtney and OM Talks, and we will see you for the next show. Thank you very much, and goodbye.